Hi guys. So I got out of bed with this urgency to just kind of share this message with you, and I was like, I don't care what I look like. I don't care if I know what I'm talking about, but I just want to directly speak to specific people. I don't care who is watching this. This message isn't for everyone, but for anybody who has suffered any type of mental torture with the guilt and the shame that's associated with abuse or with rape. There's things that will haunt you, and I know that people who have never walked through something like that will be like, oh, she's still not over it. Well, it's not that we're not over it, it's just that in your walk, there is a temptation to kind of fall back into a certain way of thinking, because what happens is your abuser, your bully, they mentally get into the psychological part of how you see yourself, how you process things, and the struggle can come long after the abuser is gone, long after the person has left your life, because their words haunt, and that's why there is the power of tongue, and that your tongue does give life or death. And so someone can be telling you these things, and 20 years later, it can still be ringing in your ears. But the problem is that we are continually feeding ourselves that same thought, thinking about it, asking the same questions, and listening to something that we know is wrong, something we know doesn't make sense, something where it's almost as if it doesn't matter how much proof and evidence you have of how insane or mentally ill someone else is, even if they are physically, clinically diagnosed with mental illness, you still have not gotten to a place of self-love, because you still do not see your worth. You still do not see where you were right or where you were wrongly punished for something that had nothing to do with you. The people that abuse you, they know you so well, and they will proudly tell you this. They know you better than yourself, which is actually true, because you haven't learned yourself. They know you better than yourself, where they know exactly how to provoke you. They know exactly how to push your buttons, and they know exactly how to get the reaction that they are looking for from you, which will justify their behavior, and basically be proof to anybody else from the outside looking in. See, now you understand, but they have no idea, because behind closed doors, nobody understands the road that you've been on, or the abuse you've been taking. And so, of course, you're gonna do certain things. It's like when you do animal cruelty, or when you lab test rats. They know exactly what to do to get the result they're looking for. And so that's where we need to step up and realize, no, this is not going to happen anymore. Even if you do this to me, I will not react this way. And that's how you know you're growing, and you know you're growing because you're continually trying to look at things. Not that you're trying to enable your abuser or excuse your behavior, but you're really trying to look at yourself, and you're really trying to see, well, did I really do anything that would have provoked this? But even if you did it, you have to understand why you did it. See, I feel like most of the people look at the person who claims victim, or the person who is suffering from this invisible abuse, but they don't understand what was happening to you. What made you react that way? If somebody is jittery or clumsy or always saying ow or always saying sorry, what conditioned them to be like that? Because that is not a natural thing. It is not a natural thing for somebody to apologize for everything. It is not a natural thing for somebody to be scared of loud noises and touch. It is not a normal thing to continuously, act in a way that isn't something normal. Like, you have to kind of be taught that. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like one of those things where, like, okay, I'm going to give you the perfect example, okay? Because this is not going to make sense to people. Okay, so I love fashion, okay? And I love colors. And I remember there was a point in my life where I had colored pants. And I loved to wear a blue shirt with a blue pants or whatever it was, right? So I had gotten to a point where I was with a person who just had this disgust for colored pants. It didn't even matter if I was wearing them. If somebody else was wearing them, it would trigger them. And because I wore them, they took it out on me. And got to a point where I was like, oh, maybe they're right. And I stopped wearing colored pants. And I didn't make the decision like, I'm going to stop wearing pants. It kind of happened gradually, where I didn't even have the desire or want to wear them. So I never wore them. And it took me literally like 2 or 3 years before I even came to the realization of what happened to me and tried to wear colored pants again. So there is a time 2 or 3 years later that I was in downtown Chicago with my friend, my brother, and we're running across the street, and this girl with purple pants runs across the street. I break down crying. Like, I didn't even understand the power of that. Just a simple thing of a woman who chose to wear purple pants running across the street. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I just realized something. And they were like, it's okay. And so we walked around the corner into a Starbucks, and there was a girl with red pants. And I literally just start crying. Because I had realized what a fear and how much a person was able to get into my head that seeing colored pants triggered a pain and a memory of how much control and manipulation somebody had over me. And I don't even know how it got there. And there's this shame of feeling like, oh my God, I'm being silly right now because I'm crying over colored pants. No, it's the depth of what that meant, the torture that somebody put you in to be able to give you that kind of reaction. And so that's why I was trying to say, for anybody that's still struggling with torture, like in your own internal battle with your mind, that's where, until you're able to really dissect these things, will you be able to place them. Like, no, that is not of me, that is of them. And then you're able to truly find healing. And the triggers will come out of nowhere, and they will come years after you've left a person. And so that's where I wanted to give like a message of hope and encouragement to somebody who might be struggling today, because I'm working on a project where I was able to speak with several wonderful, beautiful, amazing, strong women in my life. And they had a piece of dark history of some type of abuse that they went through, physical, emotional, mental, verbal, spiritual. And just hearing all the different stories, it was kind of like being in a small group, except they weren't talking to each other, they were all talking to me. And I was starting to see the similarities in the patterns, and I was starting to see the similarities in the abusers and in the people that it happened to, their reaction to it, and their struggle. So the message that I wanted to give was to somebody who might, have felt like I did at one time, to know that it's not you. You are a beautiful person, and it's like, I don't even know where I'm going with this. It's just, I just wanted that clear, that whoever is struggling in their mind, if it was them, it's not you. And you know, my heart breaks for the people who find pleasure and joy in breaking other people, or my heart breaks for the ones who are so delusional that they don't understand the pain that they're inflicting on someone else, and they truly think that they are blameless, and they truly believe that they are right in all their actions. That is the scariest part. That's the scariest part, is you cannot talk to someone like that. You cannot change that person. You cannot explain that, and that's where you just got to give it to God. And I know that I'm rambling a little bit right now, and the video is getting a little long, so I'll just cut this short, because I just want you to know that you are beautiful, you are worthy, you are loved, you are amazing, you are smart, and there are people out there that love you, and you need to surround yourself with those people so they can keep you aware, that they can keep you in your natural spirit and nourish you and bring the best out of you. And so my message today is that I hope you have a wonderful day. I love you, and that there's healing. You just have to really continuously seek it out. And so this video is not for everyone, but I hope for that one person that it was meant to be for, that you hear this. You're loved.